Okay, so we are writing this expression as a sum or difference of logs with no powers, exponents or powers, right? So they want us to take this one log and again write it as a sum, that's adding, or difference, subtraction of logarithms, plural. So basically they want me to write, log of whatever plus log of whatever minus log of whatever, break it up into several logs, added and subtracted. So we're going to use the log properties. So here they are from exam number 3. So again, for one log, multiplying becomes adding for 2 logs. So notice the easier operation for 2 logs. Like a job is easier for 2 people than it is for 1 person. So the multiplying is harder. Multiplying, dividing are harder operations. Adding, subtracting are easy. You learn them when you're kindergarten, first grade. So the harder operation for 1 log becomes the easier adding for 2, or dividing, the harder becomes the easier subtraction for 2. Makes sense? Multiplying and adding go together, they make things bigger. Multiplying is repeated adding. Dividing and subtraction both make things smaller. Dividing is repeated subtraction, so that makes sense. They go together. And powers can come down to the front or vice versa. So powers inside of a log argument, that's called, the plugin is called the argument, can go to the front or vice versa. So you can go from front to the power, from the power to the front, either way, depending on what you're trying to do at the moment. Okay, those are the 3 log properties. Let's do it. So what I would do first is I would break this up like this. Plus, because this is multiplied on the top and divided on the bottom, right? So it's going to be like that, and minus like that. Good so far, right? Things that are multiplied on the top, multiplied becomes adding, right? It's easier for several logs when you have 2 or 3 logs. It's easier operation. For only 1 log, that's the harder. It's harder for just 1 log. Like a job is harder for 1 person than several. And then same thing with the, the other connection, is the dividing. Dividing becomes subtraction. Again, it's easier for the 2 logs. Okay, one more thing. Now we are going to grab these powers and bring them down to the front, power down to the front, power down to the front. So we get 11 log x plus 4. Oh, see, I naturally make the logs capital like that. 11 log x plus 4 log y minus 3 log 8. And there it is. That's what we're going to type in. That's the right answer. What we do, we wrote the single log as a sum or difference in adding and subtracting of several logs with no powers, right? We took the powers down to the front according to property 3. The powers came down to the front. So there we go.